Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia and I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School, but here for Teaching in Room 9, all my lessons focus on math for second graders. Welcome back friends, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here together with me. I'm so excited I get the chance to be here with you. Hope you're having a really great start to your day and I'm excited for us to do some learning here together. So my friends know I always start our lessons with our Mindful Minute activity. This way, I know that you will be able to recenter your mind, your heart, and your body, and refocus so that you will be able to learn your very best here together with me. All right, so for our Mindful Minute exercise today, you are going to just take some deep, mindful breaths. So this is going to look like sitting up nice and straight and tall, shoulders back. That way it really opens up your airways and you're able to get those deep breaths in. You are going to relax your muscles, let go of any tension you might be feeling. You are going to take deep breaths in through your nose, counting to 3, and out through your mouth, counting to 3. I sometimes also like to close my eyes when I'm taking deep, mindful breaths. That way, I can kind of get rid of any other distractions I might be having and really just focus on my deep breathing. All right, so go ahead and start taking those deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nicely done, friends. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out. I want to talk to you about being the friend that you need. So it is so important, friends, for us to be able to be there for ourselves. So those same traits that you might look for in a friend, you can be that way towards yourself. You can treat yourself with the same kindness, love, and respect that you would treat your friends. Continue taking those deep breaths in and out, but I went ahead and wrote down some traits that I look for in friends, or that I think most people would look for in a friend. I would like my friends to be kind and to use kind words. I would like my friends to treat me with respect and being respectful. This might look like being understanding and knowing that I might make mistakes. I am not perfect, but that is okay. It's okay if sometimes I'm not able to come to see a friend, and we know that that is all right and that we will still be there for our friends and showing them that same respect. It's really important for your friends to be supportive and making sure that they can be there for you in the happy times, but also in the not so happy times. You want your friends to be loyal to you and make sure that they wouldn't say mean things about you or treat you differently behind your back than they would to your face. And then the last thing is being honest. I want my friends to know that they can speak openly and honestly with me, and I would never judge them for that. And that way, I can be, or they can be open and honest with me, and I would be open and honest back towards them. So some things that you could do in order to make sure you're doing these things for yourself is making sure that in your own heart and mind, when you are talking to yourself, that you are using kind words, that you are supporting yourself even when you might be a little bit more down or having a hard time getting something. That's okay. You should be your own biggest cheerleader. You can also treat yourself with that same respect and understanding that you would treat your friends with. And no, you are not meant to be perfect. And if you just keep trying, practice makes progress. And you are amazing and you can do amazing things. And you want to be honest and loyal and treat yourself with that same kindness and respect that you would treat your friends. I hope all of my friends know that you are so amazingly special and unique and kind, and you can be such a good friend to others and also treat yourself that way as well. All right, friends, nicely done. You may open your eyes. We are ready to go ahead and jump right in. We are going to start with our number of the day activity. So if you remember from some of my last few weeks' lessons, if you were able to tune in, we start with our number of the day activity. So if you don't have anything to write with, please go and grab something to write with right now. Maybe you have a dry erase board in your distance learning materials, or maybe you just need to grab a piece of paper and pencil. But we are practicing using numbers and manipulating them in so many different ways, writing them out in so many different ways. And then we've recently incorporated money math as well. So hopefully my friends are finding their way back in. And we are ready to start our number of the day exercise to warm up our math brains. All right, are you ready, friends? Your number of the day today is the number 46. Go ahead and write down 46 at the top of your page. So that way you remember 46 is the number we're working with here together today. All right, the first thing I'd like you to do, friends, is write 46 in expanded form. 46 in expanded form. Again, expanded form is when you expand out the number to show the value of each place. All right, you ready, friends? Go ahead and hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, friends. I can tell so many of my friends are getting so much more comfortable being able to work with our numbers and using all of these different forms. All right, so 46 has a 4 in the tens place, a 6 in the ones place. A 4 in the tens place would have a value of 40. 4 tens is worth 40. And then 6 ones, and we always have our plus sign in expanded form to show that if we take the value of the tens and put it together with the value of the ones, that will give us that 2-digit number. All right, next up, friends, is word form. So go ahead and write 46 in word form. And I'm gonna sound it out really nice and slow. Try your best with your spelling. Or T6. All right, you ready, friends? Go ahead and hold it up in 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, friends. It's a little bit tricky when we are working with some of these numbers here because it sounds like 4D6. It's actually 4T6. So 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 100. It is a TY. That E sound is made by the Y on the end, and that what sounds like a D is actually T, 4T6. Nicely done. Next up is base 10. So you're gonna draw 4T6 in base 10 drawings. All right, are you ready, friends? Go and hold it up in 3, 2, 1. Nicely done, friends. If this is what you had on your paper at home, amazing. If not, no worries. We're here to stretch our brains together and you can go ahead and draw it out. But 4T6 is 10, 20, 30, 40 for our tens, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for our ones. All right, now here's where it gets into that tricky part. We are now incorporating our money math. So I want to know, what are some of the different ways that you can make 46 cents? And I've got my chart here behind me, so if you need some refreshers about some of those coins and their values, that you can look at that. But 46, go ahead and draw out one way you can make 46 cents. All right, are you ready, friends? Go ahead and hold it up in 3, 2, 1. I can see some of my friends at home also have the same amount that I had here. So my biggest quarter and also my biggest value is 25. We're pretty close to being able to use 2 quarters. 2 quarters would be a value of 50. So 46, we're just a little bit off. So only 1 quarter here, 25, and then 2 dimes. Dimes are worth 10 cents. So 25, 30, 5, 45, and then 1 more is 46. All right, nicely done, friends. There are so many different ways that we can put coins together in order for us to be able to get a certain amount. Some of the other ways that we would be able to put coins together to get 46, besides the one we just talked about, you could do 4 dimes. Dimes, again, are 10 cents. 10, 20, 30, 40. 1 nickel, which is worth 5 cents. So we've got 40 already, plus 5 cents is 45, plus 1 penny would be 46. You could use 2 dimes, 10, 20. Then you could use 5 nickels. Nickels are worth 5. So if we've got 10, 20, those are our dimes. Then you've got 25, 30, 35, 40. 45, and then 1 penny would be 46. You could also do 9 nickels. Okay, so again, nickels are worth 5 cents. You could do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 9 nickels and 1 penny would be 46. And then you could always do 46 pennies as well. Nicely done, friends. I hope that your math brains are feeling awake, ready to work with our numbers here, ready to put coins together and practice our money math as well. Our learning goal this week, obviously, we are working with money again. Last week, we focused a lot on coin recognition and really just practicing, recognizing those coins and putting them together. So this week, we are going to focus on I can find the value. So we'll take a variety of coins, a handful of coins, and we will be able to find the value using a variety of different coins. And then we're also going to work a little bit with using the least amount of coins or dollars in order for us to be able to use that amount. Because that's something that is realistic, right, friends? When you go out and you're actually spending real money in the world, you're going to want to try to use the least amount of either dollar bills or coins that you have. It's easier for you, it's easier for the person at the register, and it just makes it a little bit simpler. So I thought it would be fun for us to practice that together. All right, so briefly we are going to look over at our coins chart here and go over some of those coins very quickly. So we've got our penny. Penny is copper brown. It is worth 1 cent. Abraham Lincoln is on the front. Okay, and it says 1 cent. It's our second smallest. Then we have our 5 cent nickel. Nickel has Thomas Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back, 5 cents. It is a little bit larger and silver as well. Dime, 10 cents. This one is actually the smallest in size, which is a little bit tricky. It kind of would make sense if the penny was the smallest amount and in size, but it's not. That's not the case. Our dime is actually the smallest. It's worth 10 cents. Franklin D. Roosevelt is on the front. And 25 cents for our quarter. Our quarter is the largest in size and the largest in value. We've got George Washington on the front. It's silver. And then on the back, it says $quarter, which we talked about last week, just means that it is a quarter of a dollar. It is 1/4 of a dollar. So if we have 4 quarters, that would be the same as $1. And then we went over our money chant from last week. So hopefully you remember it and you can say it nice and loud with me. All right. Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat, you're worth 5 cents, I know that. Dime, dime, little and thin, I remember you're worth 10. Quarter, quarter, big and bold, you're worth 25, I am told. Nicely done, friends. That always gets stuck in my brain, and hopefully it gets stuck in your brain and helps you remember some of those different amounts. All right, so we kind of also talked a little bit about this last week, but I wanted to just kind of talk about making those connections that we have to what we've learned so much and practiced so much with our place value, because there are a lot of connections you can make between money math and place value as well. So the first thing that I think of is 5 pennies. 5 pennies. That is this guy here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pennies. 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 pennies. Whoa. You can use 5 pennies and trade it in for 1 nickel. They have the same value. So 5 pennies, 5 cents is the same as 1 nickel that is worth 5 cents. The connection I made to that is when you are working with tallies. So if you are working with a tally chart, or if you are working on making bundles for your ones, you would do this, where you would have your single ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you get to 5, you make a diagonal line that crosses them. So that way, if you have 10, you can look at it like this and think right away, okay, 5, 10, easy. And that looks a lot easier than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I would look at this and think, I don't know, that's probably somewhere between 7 and 15, I don't know. But looking at 2 groups of 5 really is easy for us to be able to tell right away that there are 5 in that bundle. So I thought 5 pennies and a nickel is similar to making those 5 tally bundles. And then I thought a little bit more about how when we put 10 pennies together, if you put 10 pennies together, so here are 10 pennies in here, that is the same as 1 dime. So 10 pennies is the same as 1 dime. What connection can you think of where you take 10 of something and then put them together and transform them into something new? What do you think? Oh, I think I heard a friend say it. It's just like when you have 10 ones, then they transform into a tens rod. So that's what I think of every time I think of 10 pennies is like those 10 individual ones inside the 10. So 10 pennies is the same as 1 dime. Another way you can also make 10 cents. What's another way? What do you think? Oh, I think I heard a friend say 2 nickels. 2 nickels can be put together to make 5, 10. Nicely done. Maybe you were even thinking about that from when we were just doing those tallies of 10. And then if you think about how you can put 10 dimes, right? We have a dime is worth 10 cents. If you put 10 dimes together, that would give you 100. And 100 cents is the same as $1. What do you think, friends? What is something when you put 100 ones or 10 tens together? Oh, I think I heard a friend say that's just like a hundreds block. A hundreds block is broken into 100 ones. $1 is the same value as 100 pennies. And in one hundreds block, there are 10 tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So 100 pennies is the same value as $1. Or you could do 10 dimes is the same value as $1. And that immediately made my brain think 100 ones, the same as 100 or 100 block. Or 10 tens rods is the same as 100. Nicely done, friends. I know that you are getting so good at this, putting our numbers together and being able to make those connections between different math concepts. All right, so something I wanted to introduce to you today that maybe will be a helpful way for you when you are counting money, and then we'll practice doing some counting here together. It's something called hairy money. Can I get a me too if you've ever heard of hairy money before? Yeah, I'm seeing some friends are like, me too. I've definitely done this, or yes. And then I'm seeing some friends that are like, absolutely not. Hairy money. What even is that? So, hairy money is an easy way for us to be able to think about how much each coin is worth, and it helps us when we are counting them together. So, if we have, I'm going to draw it out for you, 1 penny, 1 cent. Poor penny is bald. No hairs for penny because it is just worth 1 cent. You are going to make a hair on each coin for amounts of 5. So our next coin after a penny would be our nickel, which is 5 cents. So if we've got a nickel, 5 cents, how many hairs would go on 1 nickel if each hair equals, so here's my little hair, each hair equals 5. So how many hairs would the nickel get? Nicely done. I heard one friend say 5. Okay, nickel just gets 1 hair. Next up in our coins, we have our friend, the dime. Our dime is tiny and it's worth 10 cents. So if 1 hair is worth 5, how many hairs does 10 get? Nicely done. I heard a friend say 2 hairs. 5, 10. Okay. Next up, friends, we have, what's our last coin? Yes, I heard a friend say quarter, and a quarter is worth 25 cents. So how many hairs, if each hair is worth 5, would a quarter get? Nice. So let's see it here together and see. I heard some of my friends say the right answer, but I want to make sure we get to the right answer together. So if we're counting by 5, so we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hairs. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now let's practice putting some amounts together. I'm going to leave this little key at the bottom here for you. That 1 hair is worth 5. All right, so I've got a big jar of coins here, friends. So I'm going to shake it up. You ready? And then you can draw your coins at home just like I just did. Are you ready? Okay, shake, 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 shake. Okay, and I'm going to just reach in and grab an amount. Okay, I've got this coin here. Who knows what this coin is? Yes, I heard a friend say a nickel. So go ahead and draw 1 nickel. We're not going to worry, and you can just do it just like that. We're not going to worry about the hairs just yet till we get all of the amounts down. All right, now, what coin is this? Yes, it's another nickel. Okay. And what coin is this? Another nickel. I happen to grab a lot of nickels that time. And I have 2 of these little copper brown friends, and these we know are pennies. So go ahead and draw 2 pennies. All right, now it's time to do our hairs. Okay, 5 cents. If 1 hair is worth 5, how many hairs does 5 cents get? Yep, just 1. And then you write the value at the top. So if there's 5, another 5 would be 10. Another 5 would be, yes, 15, 16, 17. So we kind of worked on doing this a little bit last time, but this time we're kind of putting a visual with our counting. Eventually you'll be able to count in your head really comfortably, but doing the hairy math sometimes helps, putting a visual together with it and kind of keeping that groups of 10 in your brain. All right, are you ready for another one? See if I can shake it up a little bit better so we don't get all nickels again. Okay, ready? Okay. Nicely done. All right, erase, erase. Just gonna use my sleeve. And here's what I've got. I've got one of these, friends. Do we know what this one is? Yeah, I heard a friend say a dime. So go ahead and draw 10 cents. And our next one is, oh, he's upside down. Yes, a nickel, nicely done. So we've got one dime, draw it out, one nickel. And then I've got two more dimes. So draw two more dimes. My circles are looking a little crazy. And then I had three of our copper brown friends, and our copper brown friends again are pennies. So 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go, friends. This is what you should have drawn. 3 dimes for 10 cents, 1 nickel for 5 cents, and 1, 2, 3 pennies. Are you ready to do your hairs? Okay, if one hair is worth 5 cents, a dime would have? Yes, 2 hairs for 5, 10 cents. Then a nickel would have how many hairs? Yeah, if one hair is worth 5 cents, a nickel would have just 1. And so 5, 10, 5 more would be 15. All right, now 10 more. Okay, so again, we know from this dime here that our dime gets 2 hairs. And then if we're going up by 5, so 15, 20, 25. Nicely done. Okay, we know dimes get 2 hairs. 10 is how much that's worth. So we're at 25 now. 25, 30, 35, and then 3 pennies. So 35, 36, 37, 38. 38 cents that we have here, friends. Nicely done. You did such an amazing job, friends. We will come back to this. If a hairy money is not making sense to your brain right now, no worries. We're going to practice this each day here together. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.